Hey guys, let's find out if it is worth augmenting your weapons. In terms of gaming and finishing monsters, of course, it is worth it. But how long does it actually take in average to get those augmentations? I'll just play with console numbers because if you're playing in the PC, you can potentially cheese everything, so let's begin. First, let's break down a bit about some of the mechanics regarding Anomaly quest. The system is going to check different things like the number of monsters, restrictions or bonuses, gathering and requests. As you have seen, every monster has a rank on it, going from A1 up to A8, at least for the time being. Obviously, the higher its rank, the more points you'll get out of them. Regarding the amount of monsters, if the quest has more than one monster, there is going to be an adjustment. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't really do this quest, unless you want to spawn a better quest within that category, but more of that later. Restriction and bonuses is where you will get the best multipliers, but they can also turn some quests into sinkholes if you are not prepared for them. Let's check an easy example of it. One feint, 25 minutes, with limited companions, is going to be your best bet. However, because of RNG, this is quite hard to get. Most of the time it's going to be one feint with 30 minutes. About gathering, I am sure you have seen those collectibles that have a faint reddish color. They will add some extra points, but nothing extraordinary, so I would recommend you not to bother with them unless they are in your path. And for research quests, those come from the monsters that are listed while looking for quests. Gimmicky and most likely not worth the time because they ask for really different monsters or conditions. What's worth right now is doing some of the quests at a specific level, because after doing 10 of them you will get some extra bonus in coins, which can be traded for different items, so you can skip different monsters or the fabulous RNG in mantles. In short, look for monsters that have a lot of restrictions, and that you know you will be able to beat with ease. It is easy to spot in the amount of Zeni the quest pays, so go for single targets and the highest amount of Zeni. In average, you will need 1-2 hunts per level, up to 180 or so, where depending from the adjustments, you will need up to 3 hunts to increase a level. What is important here is to prioritize the kind of path you want to take. As a new player, you can pretty much increase different monsters at the same time, but if you have played for a while, it may be a chore to increase all of them, because there is going to be a penalty, meaning that you will sink a lot of time if you want to increase their level and in parallel increase your anomaly rank as fast as possible. If you're around level 100, 150 and your A1 monsters are at level 10 or so, don't bother going back for them. On the other hand, focus in monsters that are around those levels. At the end of the day you will need them, as well as a lot of materials to augment and pay the augmentations. The quick thing you can do is look for online quests, but for what I've been told, it is a bit hard due to the huge difference in levels. So just focus in increasing your level, and once it is at level 200 or so, you can go back to your A1, 2, 3, 4 monsters and do like 3-4 quests out of them to increase around 30 levels per quest. In average, every quest takes from 10-15 minutes, depending if you know the monster and if you are a casual like me. There are ways to cheese them with bows, so keep that in mind. More or less it takes 30 to 50 hours to get around level 180, and once there the worst that can happen to you is if you never logged any quest. So you have to go back to spawn the quest and then level them up to where you can get all the items that you require. In the description I'll leave the notes of who gives you which material and in what level, in case you wanna look at it in more detail. And now going back once again at the idea of spawning monsters of a specific tier, but with specific levels. Let's take for example this PK at level 103. It is an A3 monster, but as you can see, doing this quest it's going to be a chore. You can do a couple of these quests and get another A3, A4 or A5 monster near or a higher level. Hopefully it's a single monster, so you can switch to that one and then do that quest a couple of times, and then spawn better options for other items. That is like the super summarized version of how you can optimize things while increasing levels. Now to the main topic. After all that, how long does it take to get the required materials to augment your weapon? This is the whole list of items to increase them from level 1 to 6. Once you put it into perspective, it is a freaking lot of materials. or grinding. And it should take more or less 2.5 hours, but just once you have acquired all the quests. I repeat, that is an estimate, taking a noob like myself as example. That is just the beginning. Now let's look at the weapon slots, depending which augmentation you wanna add. You may need 40 minutes up to a couple of hours. That in the best case scenario, because sometimes these quests just give you one of those afflicted materials. Or sometimes they give you like 8 per quest. All in all, you don't really need any weapon or build augmentation, so don't sweat it. The worst case scenario would be that Capcom hides a monster on their Anomaly research quest, but I think that is unlikely. So just take your time and make a plan. Once you have reached a decent level, you can get several items kinda fast. And if you want to get more materials way faster, just set the level to where you can get most of those materials. For example, Diablos, we can get 3 different materials: Dire Horn, Horn Plus, and Hard Horn. All of them using different things. But if you want to gather a good number of a specific material, focus in the level where you get such material. Yes, at level 161 to 20 you can get Hard Horn and Horn Plus. But if you have no use of Hard Horns, focus in getting the Horn Plus in level 101, 160. Because if you try to get those materials in level 161, it's going to take a lot of time. I hope this information is useful for all of you. If you have any question, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.